Hey guys, it's time to continue our Ace Attorney playthrough.
Give us a little recap, please.
Last time, basically, Phoenix saw someone who looked like Dahlia in this picture for this, like, training thing that Maya wanted to go to. So he was like, okay, let's go, because he wanted to meet her. And he got there, and there was this old bikini lady. Her name was Bikini. She's like a goofy old lady. And there was this author of this children's picture books. Miss Donine, who Pearl really liked. And then there was that other girl named Iris, and she was being kind of weird around Phoenix, like she might have known him or something, but it was like wasn't totally clear, and Phoenix didn't really understand. He was kind of confused. And
sorry, go on.
Anyways, at the end, or like later in the day, Maya was out training with the lady across the bridge. It's the same bridge where the murder happened of Dahlia's sister. Whenever she jumped off that bridge, also whenever they faked the kidnapping with the guy. But Maya was across the bridge training, and Phoenix was just in his room. He heard a scream. He goes out. Miss Donim is dead. Bikini's like, call the police. He runs to call the police, but the bridge is on fire. He's like, oh my god, I need to go save Maya. He tries to go save Maya, but he falls down. And then we switch to Edgeworth, and Larry calls him. He's like, Edgeworth, Phoenix is dead. I need you. So he comes over. And now Edgeworth visits Phoenix, and he gets all the materials and stuff. And now Edgeworth is trying to take the defense of Iris, because Iris is the one who was blamed or accused for killing the person, Donine. And Pearl is lost. We went to the place at Edgeworth. We were talking to everybody. Basically, Bikini was like, she saw Iris do it, but she also said she saw Iris at the other temple where the training takes place, and Iris said she never went there. She said she was just staying in her room because she was scared because she received this like threatening letter. So I don't know if there's like two Irises. I don't know if Iris is Dahlia. I think she is. We'll see.
I swear to God, I remember an Iris though somewhere in one of these Phoenix Wright games. I swear to God, I remember an Iris, and I feel like I remember it being here at the what do they call it, the shrine?
No, we've never been here before.
Yeah, we have.
No, we went to Crane Village.
Oh, Crane Village. I swear I remember an Iris at Crane Village, but maybe I'm wrong.
But yeah, also Pearl is missing, because Pearl was supposed to hang out with Donim, but she just went missing completely. So we don't know where Pearl is. Maya's trapped on the other side of the bridge because the bridge is gone, and Phoenix is in the hospital, and we are Edgeworth trying to do Phoenix's job. And apparently there's no prosecutor, and Edgeworth, like, it was so contradictory, because at first they were like, oh, Godot's prosecuting, and then Edgeworth's like, I don't know who that is. And then later on, Edgeworth's like, who's prosecuting? And then they go through it again. He's like, oh, Godot's not actually coming, because I guess he realized Phoenix wasn't going to, and he only cares about battling Phoenix. So Edgeworth said he had a prosecutor, but I don't know who it is, or like, I don't know.
It's gotta be Francisco.
Yeah, we were talking to her. I don't think we need her anymore, though. She told us in the letter
we took down her locks last time
that we need to go to Heavenly Hall.
Right, she was scared that someone was there or something?
No, she got threatened.
What the no?
It's where whoever blackmailed her, or was trying to blackmail her, said to meet. So that's where we're going. Whoa, not much of a view down here, huh? It's still better than the view from my apartment, though. Someone's here. Hide yourself, detective.
Oh, why? Why does this always happen? Oh.
I know.
I thought it was Bikini.
Whenever I find a girl I like, they always run away. I even chased one of them to Japan. Next is going to be prison, I guess. I'll steal that detective's wallet. That'll get me locked up for sure. Nah, I can't do that to someone who looks like he's down on his luck. He's just talking to himself. Shh, be quiet and listen. I knew it. I shouldn't have done that. I blew it again. Done that? What did he do, I wonder? Hey, you. About what you just said. I got an objection. What the? Edgy, you dirty rat. Come shoo, you oaf. I'm sorry, sir. Before I knew it, I was shouting out objection. And in a loud, commanding voice, too. I even pointed with my pointer finger. You've watched too many trials. I'm sorry. Okay, Larry. The jig is up. What have you got to say for yourself? Ugh. First, we check everything. What is this festive-looking ornament? Reminds me of art class in grade school. We used to have a lot of fun decorating the classroom with origami, remember? These are flags. These aren't origami. Well, Oh yeah, you were never any good at it. Really? Yeah, this guy was so bad he couldn't even fold $1, let alone a crane. Everyone tried to comfort him, but he would just sit there sobbing. Really? I never would have expected that. Be quiet already. I'll never forget the shame of that day. You want a crane? I can now make a perfect quarter-inch crane without a single flaw. You know, Edgy, nothing for nothing, but a quarter-inch crane without a single flaw is not easy. Yeah, that's quite a feat, Prosecutor Edgeworth. And this is exactly why I hate childhood friends. Except for Phoenix. This is the Eagle River, sir. It runs pretty fast, so it doesn't ice over, even in the winter. If it had iced over, Wright would have been in some serious trouble. You're right about that. He would have landed on the ice and slid downstream to who knows where. He probably would have died from the impact. Not exactly what I meant, but alright. Yeah. Okay, so the bridge is up there. To the right side. It's a little far, but I have a pretty clear view of Dusky Bridge from here. Ah, I still can't believe it, really. What is it, Larry? Huh? Nothing. It's nothing. Sounds pretty suspicious to me. Something about that statement smells, and you know what they say. When something smells, it's probably the butts. The straw roof is totally covered with freshly fallen powdery snow. Wow, makes a nice image, doesn't it? I always did like the rustic look. Heavenly Hall. I suppose it's the appropriate name in some sense. You got that right. Look at that bridge up there. This place has to be heaven because that thing is hell. You would do well to remember, Larry, that this is a sacred place to some people. That's a horrible graffiti problem you got there, pal. You don't know anything, detective. This is art. It's the expression of my bittersweet love for Iris. Larry, do you know what the difference between graffiti and true art is? Buddy, Iris is a maniac. It's how the artist himself defines it, right? I should have seen that one coming. Well, if that's the case, then all my lunchboxes are masterpieces too, pal. I guess that's everything. I don't see anything else. What is this little shack anyway? Well, I just discovered it myself yesterday. And why were you down here in the first place? Come on. I'm an artist. I was looking for a good place to sketch. This is a great little place. It's artistic. It's quiet, it's cold, it's got no power, and it looks like it's about to collapse. Sounds a lot like my apartment there, pal. One thing's for sure. No one is likely to show up and disturb you here. So, can I get you something to drink? Some hot water, maybe?
Yeah.
He's getting all buddy-buddy on us, sir. Listen to me, Edgy. You gotta do this. You've gotta save Iris. Why are you so sure she's innocent? Because she's cute? Watch your mouth. Anyway, I made up my mind about it. I'm going to marry that girl. Mr. Edgeworth is pretending he didn't hear you, so I'm going to ask for him. Have you already asked this girl to marry you? No, not yet. But I could tell how she feels by the look in her eyes. She's got this, I really want this man to carry me over the threshold look. I'm sure Nick would be surprised. He never imagined that I could marry such a beautiful girl like that. Something tells me he would be shocked indeed. That's why I didn't want her to do anything dangerous. I mean, what am I going to do if she gets hurt? What is this guy trying to say? He lost me about a mile back. If we really want to know the answer to that, we're going to have to drag him onto the witness stand. Come to think of it, you still haven't answered my question. Where were you, and what were you doing last night? Oh man, don't you have anything else to talk about? With that kind of attitude, you'll never be a ladies' man like me. Okay, chill out with those scary eyes. I got it. If you really want to know, last night, I saw something incredible. Something incredible? Yeah, he did have locks. I thought he already had locks. Yeah, but let's not talk about that now. Let's talk about the good old days. What do you say? Come on, I'll pour you a nice cup of hot water. Why hasn't he realized that I absolutely despise talking about the good old days, especially with him? Okay. Well, I feel like there's not really much more evidence we could get, so we probably already have everything. But I'm going to go ahead and move around and see if there's any new information anyways. Maybe Bikini has new information. Nope, I guess not. Okay. We should have all the information for this, probably. Alright, now you're going to tell me what you really saw last night. Whoa, you're really upset, aren't you, Eddie? Okay, I'll talk. Huh? That was a bit too easy. Yeah, anyway, it was awesome. Never seen anything like it. At around 10 o'clock last night, it started thundering. I'd been sleeping, I'm not sure for how long. Suddenly, zing! The world in front of me went up white. Oh, like I'd just been slapped in the face by my old girlfriend, Naomi. And then? And then, I was on fire. The bridge was on fire. Dusky Bridge caught on fire? Are you saying you saw it with your own eyes? Hey, why are you giving me that evil eye? I'm telling the truth. There's still 3 Psycholocks remaining. That means he's still trying to hide something. By the way, Larry, where were you when you saw that happen? Where are you, say? What do you mean? What do you mean, what do I mean? Just answer the question. I was in my own room, by the main hall. Where else would I be? As usual, you're as transparent as an empty jelly jar. The problem, I suspect, lies there. There? What do you mean, there? It's impossible for you to have seen lightning strike Dusky Bridge from your room. This is a map of the area. Take a look around the vicinity of Hazakura Temple. What am I looking for? I think that should be fairly obvious. The main hall is surrounded by trees and it's impossible to see the bridge from here. There's also a cliff in the way.
Yeah.
What? Why didn't you tell me that before? Well, how about it? How about what? Do you feel like talking now? About what? It looks like it won't be that easy after all. You leave me no choice. I'll have to move on to the next step. You weren't in your room at the temple, so then, where were you? You don't know that I wasn't in my room. So where was Larry, and why was he there? Alright, one sec. If I read the situation up to this point correctly, the answer is fairly obvious. Very well then, let's test my theory. The place he witnessed lightning striking Dusty Bridge was from here.
Dusky.
Probably here.
Yeah, that's where it is.
The place he saw the lightning strike was from, naturally, Heavenly Hall. Why would I be hanging out in this old shack? It's freezing cold, there's no electricity, and it could fall apart at any minute. Larry, how do you know that anyway? How do you know there's no electricity? After all, it's not that dark yet. Uh-oh. I mean, he still could have tried to turn on the lights or something. In other words, you have just provided evidence to prove my theory. My theory that you've at least once in your life visited Heavenly Hall after sunset. Not to admit it, I'm impressed. Edgy, you're in a totally different league from Nick. Actually, Phoenix would do all this too. That's nice. Now tell me, what were you doing at this cold little shack last night? That's what you might call a faire decor. I think you mean a faire decor. I don't know. Could it be you were waiting for someone? So is he the one who wrote the letter and he was kind of bullshitting it?
What do you mean?
You want your secret to be exposed. He's probably talking about something completely different and Iris thought it was something else. Larry's just being dumb.
But he actually just wanted to like say something.
Oh no. You really are one scary guy, you know. I believe that last night you were waiting for this person to come meet you. There's only one person you'd wait for in a horrible place like this, Larry. I told you before, don't call me Larry. The person you were waiting for was Iris. Oh, suddenly I feel cold all over, Edgy. No doubt because of my chilly glare. So you think I got the hots for Sister Iris, huh? You've literally said it about me. You literally just told me you were going to marry her like 5 minutes ago. Do you have some kind of evidence? You got something that proves I was waiting for? Or are you just guessing? This is where I draw the line and end this ridiculous little game. Here's the evidence that proves you were waiting for Iris. Here's your evidence. You called her to the spot with the pathetic blackmail letter. Oh, hey, give me that back. You're embarrassing me. What are you doing with that anyway? That's not important. I misjudged you, Larry. What do you mean? Taking advantage of a woman's frailty like that. You should be ashamed of yourself. Oh. First of all, what's this at the top of the letter? It says salutation here. Well, that's what I said in that book, Letter Writing for Dummies. You're not supposed to actually write that. That's where you're supposed to write, Dear Iris.
I didn't even notice that, actually.
I noticed that.
I don't write letters, so I was like, okay, that's normal.
Salutation here.
That's actually kind of funny.
I just thought he, like, meant to write salutations or whatever.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm so sorry. But there was something else going on still. So you were here in Heavenly Hall last night, weren't you, Larry? And you saw the lightning hit Dusky Bridge, didn't you? Sorry, Edgy. Sorry doesn't cut it, you scumbag. Threatening a young lady like that. Wait, hold up. What now, pal? What are you talking about? What threatening stuff? I'll tell you what. You tried to scare Iris by threatening to expose her secret, pal. What do you mean threaten? When did I threaten her? Unless you want your secret to be exposed. Girl, Gumshoe's making you look dumb, Larry. That sure sounds like a threat to me, pal. Blackmail, in fact. Give me a break. It's a love letter. Haven't you ever been in love? What did you just say? So, all of the letter thing doesn't even matter, but that's why Iris was in her room. Or Dahlia. But there must be some kind of doppelganger or something. My love for her burns so hotly, it can melt all the snow on this mountain, unless she was possessed, because she didn't have her hood. Oh, then what is the secret you mentioned? Come on, Edgy, don't you get it? I'm talking about the secret love between her and me. Obviously, she wouldn't want our old lady Bikini to know about it, right? About our hot and sour, bittersweet love affair. Alright, then why did you send a love letter in a business-like manila envelope? Give me a break. It's not my fault I didn't have any other envelopes. Yeesh. Then why were you so quick to apologize, pal? It's because Edgy gave me that scary look of his. What's wrong, Edgy? Why are you so quiet all of a sudden? That's it? That's what all those huge locks were about? I don't understand why you were so defensive. Well, I don't know either. I guess the thing is, you shouldn't expect too much from a guy like me. I think I Red Edgeworth is Larry. Hey, come on, don't let it get you down. But Mr. Edgeworth, this guy is still hiding something, I know it. What do you mean, detective? Don't forget what this guy said just a minute ago. If you really want to know, last night, I saw something incredible. He's right. Well, he saw the lightning strike the bridge, isn't that what he saw? Larry, what? You're looking at me like a hungry dog that just found a bone. What was this something incredible you saw last night? You're going to tell me, Larry, one way or another. I thought it was the lightning strike.
Bridge.
I already told you, didn't I? I saw lightning strike Dusky Bridge. Yes, and I believe it was the incredible sight you saw. But now that I think about it, something doesn't quite ring true. What doesn't? If that's all there is to your story, your heart wouldn't have had all those locks. Therefore, Larry, I do believe you saw something last night, something more incredible than lightning. What? When? Where? Why? How? Hey, what do you think you're doing? If you hide anything from Mr. Edgeworth, I'll arrest you on the spot, pal. More locks. Oh my god.
Why?
No!
Larry.
What's wrong, sir? Does this mean I have to do it all over again? Why are you glaring at me like I'm going to be hit by a bolt of lightning? I've just about had it with this harlequin. If I really want to drag the truth out of him, I'll just have to drag him to the witness stand. Are we really going to get defense attorney Edgeworth? I think it's about to happen. It's day one of the trial, isn't it?
Already? Oh my, Mr. Loris feels that way. Damn it, why is it so hard? Oh my, Mr. Loris feels that way about me. Who is Loris?
Larry.
Oh my god, yeah. Feels that way about me?
Bro, this girl's a psychopath. Actually, that's definitely brown hair, bro. Come on.
I know, like, why is he saying black? His monitor is literally adjusted. I know it is. It has to be.
Apparently, he isn't aware of your real secret at all. This is no time to be embarrassed.
I'm sorry.
I don't believe this. Like, if this is Dahlia, I really hope this isn't Dahlia. Because if it's like, oh, I can fake this kidnapping and death and get this guy sentenced to be executed, and then years later I'll kill my sister and cause him to commit suicide on the stand. And none of that will cause me to regret anything. And then I'll kill a guy and I wouldn't have regretted anything, but I made Phoenix Wright sad. He got sad. This little fucking goofball that I didn't even like, he got sad. So that means I had to change my ways and go to the mountains and pay for my sins because I made somebody sad. Not because I made somebody commit suicide or killed people. It's because I made somebody sad. Like, if that's what they're going for, I really hope this is Hatalia, because that's really stupid.
I'm just hardly accustomed to that sort of thing.
Worry not. And in any case, whatever it was that he saw on the night of the incident, mark my words, I will drag it out of him.
Does that mean Mr. Loris? Did I say it right? Mr. Loris is the witness to this?
No. I believe that none will be the first to take the stand.
Sister Bikini.
She claims to have seen the very instant in which you carried out the crime. I just want to ask you one last time. It really wasn't you who killed Miss Elise Dunim, what, correct?
That is correct. It wasn't me.
Very well then.
Mr. Edward.
Yes?
You're a prosecutor, aren't you? Are you sure about this? If your true identity is revealed.
I've made the necessary arrangements.
What does she mean, true identity? What?
As a prosecutor, because somehow nobody in this court is going to recognize.
Oh my god.
Well, it's because he said that he chose a different judge, and he chose his own prosecutor. But I feel like anybody in the prosecutor's office should know that it's Edgeworth. I mean, I guess if, like, I don't even know.
Isn't he well known?
Yeah, this is pretty. I mean, I guess it's been like a couple years or something, but this is pretty silly, anyways.
I see.
Iris, it is a prosecutor's job to doubt people. But right now, I'm a defense attorney. A defense attorney's job is to believe in people, and to believe until the bitter end. That's what my friend told me once.
Mr. Edgeworth.
I simply ask that you watch and decide for yourself whether or not I am fit to do the task I have been entrusted.
Very well, sir. I leave my defense in your capable hands.
I hope eventually we get to a point where it's like both Phoenix and Edgeworth working together on the defense stand. That'd be awesome. Look at him. Yep, I knew it. We got this Canadian judge. How long has it had been though? How old is Phoenix? Or how old is Iris? 25? 26? So it's been about 6 years. But I feel like any kind of judge worth his, like... Any judge that's worth anything at all should know who fucking Miles Edgeworth is. This judge had heard of Edgeworth before his first trial even. He was like, oh, I've heard of you. You're like this prodigy or whatever. This is crazy. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Who is it? The defense does indeed appear to be ready. However, the same cannot be said for the prosecution in this case. Indeed. I'm not sure I like such a blatant waste of this court's time. An empty prosecutor's chair can only mean that the prosecutor has no confidence in their ability to prove their case.
Like, hold it, and then
It would seem this case is already over before it had a chance to begin. This has never happened before. He's on the side of the fence before it even begins. Dude, what? I'm ready to announce my verdict at this time. This court finds the defendant. It's her.
The prosecution stands ready.
So where was she at? I don't remember her whole story. Like, I know she was like a sad girl. Was she like jealous of Edgeworth or something?
Something like that. I think it's because her father really liked Edgeworth or something.
And she wanted to beat Phoenix because Edgeworth can never beat Phoenix, maybe. This could be totally wrong, but I think it's something like that. But then she went off to Germany then. And you are? So they don't even know Francisca either. All these people have been in like these high like profile cases over the past couple years.
Francisca von Karma, prosecuting prodigy.
But if she's working with me, then this is kind of like fucked, isn't it? Like if I told her to come here, she only came here because of Edgeworth. So she's on Edgeworth's side. So she's not going to go as hard as she would against Phoenix. Like, presumably. Von Karma, you say? Perchance you wouldn't be of any relation to the legendary persecutor Manfred von Karma? I can't read.
Legends are a thing of the past. I'm a von Karma, that is all. Upon a special request, I flew in today for the purposes of prosecuting this case.
You did? Then you must be quite a big shot, eh? By the way, Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor. I'm almost certain that I've seen you somewhere before. Or am I just... Like, he's even using his name. He's not changing his name. He's not wearing anything different.
Yeah, like what?
There's no way. You look very much like a prosecutor I met once. I believe you are imagining things, Your Honor. Ms. Von Karma, do you have anything to say?
There is no such weakling as this man among those of the prosecutor's office.
There isn't, but I'm sure once before in this courtroom.
I told you there is no such weakling.
She's still whipping people. What is that, a whip? I'm not sure I care for such a thing in my courtroom. But bailiff, remove that whip at... Hold it. I have no objection to the whip. You don't? The prosecution can wield a whip or drink 17 cups of coffee. How does he know about the coffee? But there is still only one truth. That is what I stand here to prove today.
I mean, I'm sure it's well known in the prosecutor. Whatever.
Okay, no, Edgeworth didn't know about him. This feels like a rigged case in the favor of us for the first time ever, but I don't know how
I mean,
feel
either
about
way, Von
that.
Karma is a prosecutor. Her job is to prosecute. I'm sure she holds that very highly, regardless. I'd expected to face Phoenix right here today.
Wait, really? So I wonder what that would have been like.
I guess that's probably how she got her here. How he got her here. Looking at you now. Maybe this is what I've been waiting for all this time. Miles Edgeworth, I will not allow this chance to crush you slip through my fingers.
Shouldn't she have matured by now? I see you brought your flair for the histrionic. Wait, how is she still 19? Was she not 19
Maybe she was
in the other game?
17 or 18 or something.
I thought she was 19 in the other game. Allow me to add to things I'm not sure about. People acting bizarrely in my court. Oh,
Stage is set. Now continue with the proceedings, Your Honor. She probably was 18.
very well. Miss Von Karma, please give an outline of this case, with as little whipping as possible.
The murder victim is the famed picture book author, Miss Elise Donin. Her body was found in the Hazakura Temple courtyard. She had been stabbed through the torso by a ceremonial sword from a golden statue.
The sword in this picture is the weapon in question, correct? Very well. The court accepts this photo of the crime scene.
There's no mistake. This was the doing of Sister Iris. After all, there's a witness to her crime.
Very well. Please bring this witness to the stand. And so it begins. My first and last trial as a defense attorney. What the?
They've done this joke already, bro. I don't remember, but it was someone. It was someone. Witness, state your name and occupation, please.
Hold on here. I'm not sure about being not sure if I care for this at all. Witness, please stand up nice and straight. If I recall correctly, there are a few milk crates in the fitness lobby for our back pain-plagued witness. Bailiff, fetch a crate for this poor lady, please.
Once again, your name and occupation, please. Little old me, well, I'm the head nun of Hazakura Temple on Eagle Mountain. My name is Bikini, you got it? Bikini. Nice to meet everyone.
But you don't appear to be wearing a bikini right now. Whoa.
The courtroom is the garden of holy judgment. Those with lechery in their hearts should leave the sanctuary at once.
You want me to leave?
No need to get your bikinis in a twist. Let me tell you, I'm a sight to behold in summer.
In any case, witness, I hear that you saw the crime take place on the night in question.
That's right. I can still hardly believe it myself, to be honest. There's no way dear little Iris could do anything like that. Isn't she the one that thought Iris did it?
Let us hear what you have to say then. First, tell us about your own movements that night, eh?
It's probably a Canadian accent.
Yeah, I don't know how to do it.
That night I was helping an acolyte with her training in her temple, but, well, as you can see, my back likes to act up violently. So I left Iris to help the acolyte and returned to Hazakura Temple. There's no bath in her temple, you see, and I needed a long hot soak. It was after I had finished, just as I was heading back. That's when I saw it.
So it was simply coincidence that you found yourself returning to Hazakura Temple?
Yes, you could say that. If my back hadn't been in so much pain, I would have stayed at the inner temple.
That sounds like a pretty important statement she just made.
There's only one problem with this testimony that I can see. And you're not about to fall at the first hurdle now, are you, Mr. Miles Edgeworth? Mister? Why did I say Mister?
Mr. Edgeworth, please begin your cross-examination.
Oh my goodness. It was Maya, wasn't it?
What is this inner temple?
Well, see, conversing with the spirits is what we train people to do, right?
We'll be the ones asking you the questions, madam.
In order to do that, a place strong in spiritual power is required. There's a small temple across Dusky Bridge called the Inner Temple. Acolytes must spend an entire night there to undergo intense training.
How exactly do you help with this process?
It is all quite exacting. It can't be performed without a nun supervising. Like a tutor watching to make sure a spoiled child studies.
Tutor with a whip in your case. If that's the case, then why did you return to Hazakura Temple where the murder took place? Violently.
That's right. It's no laughing matter, especially in winter. I can't hold anything heavier than a knife and fork during the cold months. Just being alive is like strict training. Haha.
On the night of the murder, was this fabulous back of yours hurting again?
That's right, raging like a bull in a pig pen. I almost fainted once or twice. I just knew that unless it warmed up, it was going to finally finish me off.
You left Iris to help. With what?
What do you think? The acolyte's training, of course. It was just past 10 p.m., so we were starting to enter into the training exercises proper.
Was it your place to remain with the disciple?
Well, the job is simply to watch over the acolyte so that they don't pass away.
Just to confirm this point again, that night, you met Iris in the inner temple, correct?
Yes, she's a gentle, honest girl. She's never once failed to follow my directions. Do we really need to press this?
Probably not, but might as well.
Okay.
So, you returned to the Hazakura Temple in order to take a bath?
My back was to blame for everything. It's a do or be done in kind of world, after all.
How long were you in the bath for, if you don't mind me asking? Okay.
My, what a filthy little rogue you are. I know what's on your mind.
Can you just answer the question, lady?
I bet your next question is going to be, where exactly did you wash? This is why you have to watch the young ones.
What are you going on about? I was...
Pathetic Miles Edgeworth.
The lowest of the low. Says
Okay,
you,
he
you
can't
literally
be
called
talking.
a fucking 19-year-old girl scrumptious the last time we saw you. Is there some sort of kick me sign stuck to the defense's bench?
Like, the judge of all people cannot be talking.
Now Edgeworth understands.
Anyway, I couldn't afford to be away from my post for too long, you understand, so...
The crime took place in the courtyard, correct?
When you go from my room to the main hall, you have to take a winding hallway from which you can see the courtyard. That's right. Sorry. In other words, it was pure coincidence that the witness saw the crime taking place before her eyes. There's no complicated setup in this case.
That certainly seems to be true. There's indeed only one problem with this testimony. If I can clearly point out what it is, then I can begin to quantify just how good this witness's memory and observation skills are. Alright, let's see what the problem is here. Training, my back like sacked up, so I left Iris and returned to the temple. There's no bath at the inner temple and I needed a long soak.
Let's look at the evidence.
Wait.
I don't think it'd be that, would it? Unless it was raining when she left.
When did she? Where's the autopsy report? Is there not one?
10 feet.
What's the left say? Oh, is it that one? I think so. But I didn't think Von Karma knew about that. Can you see this? Yeah. Oh, it's that. Anyways, press back. Back.
What percent?
No. Back. Present Iris's testimony. Witnesses have to undergo their own trials, I'm afraid. The defendant's fate rests on the power of observation and memory, after all.
Well, don't worry. I'm more than up to the task. I'm a woman of faith, after all, the head honcho of Haskura Temple.
In that case, Miss Honcho, I'd like you to explain something for me. The discrepancy between your testimony and that of the defendant, Iris. She claims that after ringing the lights out bell, she went back and stayed at her room. Which means she did not go to the inner temple at all.
No. Said that? A defendant or a witness? Who is more likely to lie, do you suppose? The defendant is simply lying to cover her back.
But that is completely illogical. The murder was committed in the courtyard of Hazakura Temple. Claiming that she went to the inner temple would make for a much better alibi.
That is odd. Whatever the reason, I can't believe that she would lie.
She does indeed have honest eyes. Whoa.
All people lie. That is my belief.
Why am I the only one being whipped in here? Because Phoenix is in here. Anyway, neither the witness nor the defendant have any reason to lie. Which means you must call your memory into question.
Dear. You're older than me and yet you want to play that game, do you?
That isn't exactly what I...
Memory is perfect, crystal clear, especially in winter.
Then, I suppose it's too early to end this cross-examination, eh? Mr. Edgeworth, if you are going to question the memory of this witness, you will need to show me a more decisive piece of evidence. Understood, Your Honor. I was naive to think that alone would do the trick. And please add your comments about Iris to the about Iris to the testimony. How do you do a Canadian accent? Like Nick A30? Let us return to this cross-examination. I don't know a Canadian accent. Alright, well, it's not going to be any of the old stuff. It's going to be the new thing. The left.
I know.
Mute. Press. You're so slow. Are you sure that you're not making a mistake?
You young man need to get your estimation of me up from the floor. Iris always wears the same clothes.
You know what, though? I bet during dinner she was probably wearing this. But she gave that to Phoenix before she would have gone to the inner temple.
The smallest thing out of place would have stood like a sore thumb to me. You're making a mistake. Thinking I made a mistake.
An excellent finish there, witness. Still, I have to wonder. Witness, let's get one thing straight. The defendant whom you claim to have met, she was wearing this demon-warding hood, correct?
Of course. That is a very important piece of clothing, I'll have you know. Ha ha ha! Wait a minute. Hold it right there. Why do you have that?
That's the question of the day now, isn't it, Miss Von Karma? I'll have you know that this hood was given to someone as a gift that night, before the lights out bell was rung.
What?
Where's the emotion? You know where I'm going with this, don't you? If this witness had seen the defendant as she claims, then the iris she saw would have been missing this very hood.
Whoa.
It's not a bad feeling at all exposing contradictions like this. Now I understand that happy look on Wright's face every time he does it. Order in the court.
Sister, this hood, you have spare ones around the temple, don't you? Spares? Well, I do tend to make too many of them.
I see. A stockpile, a surplus of hoods, huh? Eh?
Each nun is only given one hood. This should be the only hood that Iris owns.
And theirs is quite strange.
If there was a surplus of hoods, then she could have worn one of theirs. There's no contradiction here.
I'm sorry to break this to you, Miss Von Karma, but you won't get away that easily. Discrepancies such as this will sow seeds in any human heart. The seeds of doubt. Witness. While I don't wish to call your testimony into doubt, you must give every detail with precision.
I'm not sure I'm comfortable going along with this. Sister, you shall continue with your testimony. Tell us what you saw after finishing your bath on your way back to the inner temple.
Those seeds of doubt are sprouting in the judge's heart. They just need a little more stimulation to bear fruit. Contradictory stimulation.
Ooh. I finished my bath around 11, and I thought I should return to the inner temple. As I was walking back, I heard a noise from the courtyard. I took a look, and Iris was all mystic aloof. And with that sword of all things. Mystic Leech was staying in the corner room, which faces out onto the courtyard. The stabbing I saw must have occurred after she was pushed out of her window.
There it is. That's the contradiction. You saw a truly terrible sight, didn't you? If I was in your place, then it would be much like Miss Von Karma whipping Mr. Edgeworth in court. Okay, I cannot talk. And me seeing it all from this very chair. Or, well, something like that. This judge. His imagination is about as vivid and creative as Detective Gumshoe.
I would look the fool if I commented on such foolishness. Oh my god.
I forgot about this.
No, don't bring this back. If I commented on such foolishness. Anyway, this case is mine, Miles Edgeworth.
Calling everyone by their full name. Can't you do something about that habit of yours? We already know the contradiction, so we don't really have to press anything unless you just really want to.
Objection!
Impressive logic. That's what I'd like to say anyway.
Oh, please do. My brain is something else. Especially in winter.
However, I think you are overlooking one thing. Imagine if they hit him with the outdated autopsy report.
Bro.
Miss Von Karma, would you be so kind as to take another look at the autopsy report?
The autopsy report.
The victim did fall from a height of 10 feet. However, this fall was after she was killed. That's right, it says after death right here. The scene the witness claims to have seen is contradictory. If the defendant stabbed and killed the victim there in the courtyard, how did the victim then go on to take a 10-foot fall? Order! The victim was killed and then fell. If that is the case, then the victim must have been killed in her room. Don't you agree?
That is the logical conclusion. Yes, that's right. The victim must have been stabbed by the defendant in her own room. And she was then thrown out of her window down into the courtyard below.
Were there any signs of a struggle in Miss Dunim's room? She was stabbed with a sword. That would leave a blood stain, wouldn't you agree? Well, Miss Von Karma, was there any blood? Wow!
No traces of blood were found in the victim's room.
Your whip is just called traces of blood to be found off my glorious playoff beard. However, if there was no blood in the room, then your claim that...
I'm sure there's no need for me to go over this, as I'm sure your honor is well aware of when a stab wound produces the most blood.
When it produces the most blood?
Very little blood is actually lost at the moment of a blade's insertion. If you want to talk about when the most blood would be lost from the body, it's when it's removed. That would be when the blade is removed.
Yeah, but there'd still probably be some blood.
Yeah.
Indeed, with the weapon still in place, it acts like a lid on the wound. That's true. With the weapon still in the body, there wouldn't be much bleeding. A perfectly reasonable line of thinking.
We've come to a conclusion then. The victim was thrown out the window with the sword still in place.
Yeah, I guess actually.
This removes all of the contradictions.
But not really, because she didn't say that. Order, order, order. I must admit this is a probable version of events. Let me check the photo real quick. So, I'm just wondering, how did the sword get into the hands of the statue? Like somebody deliberately put it like that?
That'd be a lot of work.
And the sword was never removed. From what I can tell.
I mean, they could have just re-stabbed her or something.
There's still something fishy going on around here. Nothing, this doesn't line up. I'd expect no less from Franziska von Karma. She locates and takes control of every vital point.
Mm.
It seems that we need a clear testimony from the witness. Remove all supposition on your part and tell us only the facts, please. Witness, please, remain standing on the crate.
Don't go selling me short now. The weight of winter snow has bent me into shape, especially my back and my mood.
Sister,
Bruh, you're not a woman. Sister, please give us your testimony. I will give you a vigorous massage once we're finished here.
what? With the whip?
Oh boy. Alright, alright. Another testimony.
Well,
You're not a woman. When Nux crossed the scene, the sword was already in place. Thinking about it now, I didn't really see her stab Mystic Elise. I've never seen so much blood before. That's why I fainted. You can't blame me, can you? And when I awoke, Mystic Amy was stabbing Mystic Elise through the back. Oh, the statue.
This all confirms Miss Von Karma's theory.
Von Karma strive for nothing but
Does
perfection.
it though? Because I mean, this is her third version of the story, so can we really trust it after she's been wrong like two
That's
times?
like every trial, though. They never have any credibility. Putting together such facts is nothing for me. You should know that, Miles Edgeworth.
Perfection is an impossibility, Franziska Von Karma, and I'm here to teach you just that.
Okay. Sort of already in place.
At that time, was the victim bleeding?
Well, I was very shocked to be seeing all of this, of course, so I'm not entirely sure. But I don't think I saw any blood, not then. I'm sure you didn't. The weapon was acting as a plug in the wound.
In any case, let's be clear on one very important point. Did you actually see the instant in which the victim was stabbed? Think carefully. This is very important.
Which iris were you talking about here? I'm thinking for all in one. No, when I looked over it, the sword was already in Mystic Elise's body.
So in other words, there's no proof, there's no witness testimony even that Iris did it.
Right.
So that we've already proved that there's reasonable doubt that she did it. It might not be conclusive, but this testimony supports her theory.
The victim was stabbed in her room and then dropped into the courtyard. I think this proves it rather well, Miles Edgeworth.
Yeah, but it also, she didn't see Iris stab him, or stab her. She didn't see, so like, I don't know.
Oh, wait.
Also, like, this is fake, bro. We just asked her if she saw blood.
Now
She
she's
said
saying
no.
there's so
Now
much
she
blood.
said there's too much blood.
I'm sure she'll elaborate.
So you're saying that you saw the victim's blood?
That's right, some of it splattered on Iris, too. When the defendant was arrested, she was meditating in her room, and her blood-flecked clothing was neatly folded in the corner.
What? So her clothes had blood on it, but there was no blood in her room because they're saying blood couldn't have possibly gotten out. and they were just talking about how there's no way she would have seen blood because, like, I feel like this whole thing is just totally not making sense. Anyways.
You only recorded for 60 minutes?
I just recorded another one. That seems quite conclusive to me. What should I do? Press this point further? Yes. Going back to your previous statement, you said that you saw a little bleeding when the victim was stabbed. But now, okay, you say you saw the victim bleeding?
Well, I see that what I saw is what I saw.
What did you see?
Maybe I didn't see the poor woman get stabbed, but I saw the girl pull the sword out of her, plain as day.
What? Pulling the sword out?
Well, it wasn't exactly pulling. It was more like it came out.
So who's to say that Dahlia did it? Or Iris, witness, you'll add this statement to your testimony.
Oh, was that important?
More important than you can imagine. Smoothly, you say. You're saying you saw the sword smoothly slide out?
That's right. The whole thing happened right next to the gold statue of Mr. Gamey. Miss Scalise was on the ground, and Iris was stooped over her. The sword was buried up to the hilt. When Iris stood up, the sword in her hand just slid out of Miss Scalise's body. It set out from that gaping wound.
It goes without saying that if the sword was removed, there would be bleeding. Okay, so they explained that. But
Nothing out of place here. Wait, let me see the... Look...
then would she have been dead?
I feel like they would have specified if there were 2 stabbings on the autopsy, wouldn't they?
There weren't 2 stabbings. I don't know. But wait, if she died...
Well, she said she pulled it out, so she must have stabbed her again because she was in the...
Yeah, but she was already dead. But if she died because of blood loss, then she shouldn't have died until after the sword was pulled out, right? I guess. Is that really the case? I can't help but feel that something about this testimony is very out of place. That something which couldn't possibly have happened appears to have happened. Go to the left. I don't think anything else matters. I think it's this. So let's look. This.
Or...
The blood doesn't go up to the hilt.
I don't even know what a hilt is.
It's the part that you hold. Sister Bikini, you are not a reliable witness. This is a lie. At least I'd like to think so. But there are too many contradictions here.
What do you mean? You make it sound as though I'm a liar. But you're a handsome young man, so I'll forgive you. What contradictions are you talking about?
In the scene that the witness claims to have seen, the weapon was thrust up to the hilt into the victim. Furthermore, the killer withdrew the weapon smoothly from the body. However, both of these are completely impossible, or complete impossibilities. What do you mean? Please explain
Explain yourself.
To start with, you think that it would be possible to stab someone to the hilt with this? No matter how I look at the defendant, she doesn't appear strong enough for that.
Doesn't appear. What meaningless dribble. I too may appear to be weak and frail, but I can crush men in my heel and make them weep, so I should choose.
The objection stands. I wept a little back there, I must admit. That isn't the only issue here. If this sword was truly stabbed into the body up to the hilt, well, just look at all the branches on it. It certainly wouldn't come out smoothly. We also have the problem of the amount of bleeding. It's true that when a blade is left in the body, it acts as a plug of sorts. However, when the weapon is shaped like this, it's an entirely different story. The wound would be too large for the blade to completely stop the bleeding.
That's nothing more than conjecture. In reality, the victim was stabbed with the Shichishido. Even a weapon of this nature may still sometimes slide out smoothly, and may still sometimes stop blood.
I'm not finished.
Yeah.
There's also the amount of blood. There's still one more conclusive contradiction. You've still got more? This one is simple. It really was thrust in all the way to the hilt. Why is there only blood on the tip of it?
Yeah.
If this witness is telling the truth, then there should be blood along the entire length of the sword.
No.
Order, order, order! Oh!
Bravo, Miles Edgeworth. Raising this many contradictions from a single piece of evidence. All the other attorneys I know can maybe manage one, if that.
But what does this all mean? You have proven contradiction regarding the murder weapon, but having come this far, there can only be one answer.
And that is...
The weapon used to kill the victim was not the shishisto. What?
Foolish idea born from the foolish mind of a foolhardy, foolish fool.
Let's examine this again. What was it that made us think this sword was the murder weapon?
Well, because Mr. Gamey was holding it.
Exactly. However, if you reflect on this, that is the only basis we have to assume such a thing. The impression left by the scene was just too strong. That is what influenced us. It influenced us to believe that the Shichishiro was the murder weapon. Order, order, order! Ah!
So maybe the Shichido was not the murder weapon. Even if that is the case, it changes nothing, Miles Edgeworth. Sister here saw everything. She saw the defendant stab the victim with a sword-like object.
No, she didn't see her stab it. She saw her take the sword out, if she saw anything. That's true. Your response, Mr. Edgeworth? If that is so, I would like the prosecution to answer the obvious question it raises. The obvious question? Yes, namely, where did the real murder weapon disappear to? It goes without saying that the police searched the main hall and the surrounding area. Perhaps prosecution can enlighten us as to if the sword-like object was found. Answer the question, Miss Von Karma.
No evidence of that kind was found.
I think Edgeworth does feel a little smarter. Another mystery to throw onto the pile. I don't think you'd ever need a Mia. A trial without a murder weapon is a tricky beast.
Excuse me, could I say something? I just remembered something, actually. What is it, sister? I was just thinking it's possible that just maybe what actually happened was, it was just over there.
What exactly are you going on about here?
The murder weapon, I mean. Maybe... I think I might know where the sword was disposed of.
What?
Well then. I think we need to hear more testimony from you one more time, sister.
Impossible. What else could this old woman have seen?
I saw the murderer at around 11 p.m.
R1. What's the autopsy report say about time of death? 10 to 11, like that.
And after asking that it be reported, I went out to the main gate. And there I saw tracks that indicated the snowmobile had been used. It takes 15 minutes to walk to Dusky Bridge, but less than 5 using one of those. Maybe they threw the weapon in Eagle River and came back while I was knocked out. Iris could have done that. She could drive a snowmobile after all.
That's totally conjecture, though. Like, literally, she's just kind of making that up. Like, so she saw snowmobile tracks, so she's saying that might mean that somebody might have driven it and thrown it into the river. Like, no, it was probably Larry who fucking wrote it or something.
That's not facts, it's just...
Witness, please tell us everything you know right away next time.
Well, I'm not in the best shape with with my back and my age, you know. Quite. There were indeed snowmobile tracks in front of the main gate. Here's a photograph. What, you're just now showing this?
This doesn't prove anything. A snowmobile, eh? I see. Well, certainly is an interesting theory. But it's just a theory, that's the thing. It doesn't hold up in the courtroom.
The tracks begin in front of Hazakura Temple and run all the way to Dusky Bridge. I mean, if it runs to Dusky Bridge, I mean... That solves your pesky little problem, yes? The Eagle River's current is quite swift, meaning that it doesn't freeze over in winter, making it the perfect place to dispose of the murder weapon.
Did she really go to the river to dispose of the murder weapon? Mr. Edgeworth, your cross-examination, please.
I wonder what even was the weapon. Is it in our evidence?
You are sure about the time?
Yes, I was worried about it after all.
Why was that?
Because I have a strong sense of responsibility, especially at this time of year. The acolyte was being doused in freezing water at the time. I couldn't very well take it easy in the bath all night, could I? So at 11, I decided to leave Hazakura Temple.
Her estimation of the time seems reliable, at least.
Please continue, sister.
You asked Phoenix Wright to report the crime, correct?
Right, the one who trampled me.
It seems she is the type to hold a grudge.
There isn't a phone in main hall, so I sent him to the bridge. Phoenix Wright, he didn't even have his cell phone on him.
He had forgotten it at home, apparently.
What a naive boy, as always. Not only do I always carry my phone, but I always have my whip in hand, too. Anyway, I was really scared, and it was taking him a while to get back. So I thought I'd go out by the main gate for a spell. For what?
As I recall, there was a snowmobile outside the main gate when I visited. That's
it, that's the only one we have. It'll run no matter how much the snow falls.
Now, you're certain the snowmobile was there at the main gate when you arrived?
Yes, of course. It was parked in front of the gate. So she had already gone, discarded the murder weapon, and returned by the time.
I'm not sure if this is really relevant. What should I do? Press further, I guess. I need answers to every possible doubt. The snowmobile in question, was it still warm at that time?
Huh? What do you mean?
What do you mean, eh?
What do you mean, Miles Edgeworth?
I'm playing to a slow crowd here. It goes without saying that using a snowmobile will heat its engine. If it was still warm, then it means it was recently used.
Ah, I see. I never thought of that.
That's right. I overlooked that too.
Of course you did.
Then answer the question, please, witness.
I don't often go around touching hot engines. However, now that you mention it, there wasn't any snow on it.
Snow?
Yes, for some reason only the snowmobile wasn't covered in snow.
So that means it was recently used and probably melted off. There wasn't any snow on it? Curses. Seems highly likely that the killer did use the snowmobile then, eh?
How long does it take to get to Dusty Bridge by snowmobile?
Not really, though. It could have been anybody that did that. In that case, why didn't you use it yourself? Could have spared yourself some walking.
There's a reason for that. Have we got a moment for me to explain?
I think that's why the question was asked in the first place.
It was about a month ago. I was driving my beloved little snowmobile, happy as can be. I'd fetched some water and was heading back when I went and crashed into a tree. The tree and my back both went crunch, just like that. Crunch.
Crunch.
I haven't been able to find the courage to ride anything since then. Anyway, the killer must have used it.
Refresh our memory. How long were you knocked out for?
Like I said, somewhere between 10 to 20 minutes. It's possible to get to the bridge back in 10 minutes using the snowmobile.
I have to concede that is more than enough time.
Is that all you wish to concede, Miles Edgeworth? So, I'm guessing we're going to prove that she couldn't have. Because she was doing something.
Well, it would have been possible time-wise. One element remains out of place here. Oh, and what would this mystery element be? The killer's reasoning, Your Honor. Why did the killer do all of this? Why go to the Eagle River to dispose of the murder weapon when there are other methods? Too many unanswered questions. Response, Miss Von Karma. Ah!
Turning to me for help over the slightest thing. Why don't you think for yourself once in a while, Your Honor?
What? She's as over the top as always.
Anyway, whatever the reason, the fact remains the defendant could have done this. The murder weapon was disposed of in the river. Another point to me, Miles Edgeworth.
Another mystery to feed the fire. Was there any reason they don't throw away the murder weapon? Luckily, there is surely a problem with this testimony. All I have to do is start poking holes in this flawed account. Try presenting the picture of the snowmobile to this. Yeah. Oop, I think I got it. If this photograph proves something. It proves that the snowmobile was used on the night of the murder.
You finally accepted the inevitable, it seems, Miles Edgeworth.
However, if what the witness says is true, then why is there only one set of tracks?
What do you...
Oh, that's not even what I was thinking, though.
I thought... I was thinking about one tracks for like a second, but then I was like, yeah, I mean... I don't think they thought about that.
So yeah, this only comes here. If they left and came back, then there should be two sets of tracks. What I was thinking, I think, was something like... I don't remember. I don't remember what compelled me to want to present it to that, actually. But there was something that I had in my head, like, anyways, whatever. Iris left, threw the weapon in the river, and then returned. If this was the case, then naturally there should be two sets of tracks in the snow. Those from heading out to the bridge and those from coming back.
Ah, you're right. You're forgetting one thing, Miles Edgeworth. On the night of the murder, it was snowing. The tracks leading to the bridge were erased by the snowfall. So this is where we show the weather. This removes a precious contradiction now, doesn't it?
Wouldn't all of those tracks have been? I see, while she was at, that's not true. While she was at the river, the snow stopped, leaving just the return tracks in the snow. That's not true at all. So, what do you have to say now, Miles Edgeworth? Oh, sorry. Is there a flaw in her theory? This idea that the snowfall covered one set of tracks. The tracks to the river were covered by snow. What a nice theory. However, Miss Von Karma, that is impossible.
Would you care to explain? Why there is a rude index finger currently pointed in my general direction.
No need. The evidence will do all the talking for me. On the night of the murder, the killer went to and returned from Dusky Bridge. In order to dispose of the murder weapon, the outgoing tracks were erased by snow. Or so claims Miss Von Karma. Mr. Edgeworth, present your evidence to the contrary, eh? Evidence that the outgoing tracks were not covered by snow. Well, check this.
Yeah, it stopped snowing by then.
Yeah. Witness, please tell us again what time it was when you witnessed the crime.
Like I said, it was around 11.
Of course, this means that the weapon was thrown away after that time, correct? On that note, please take a look at this data. It is the weather report for Eagle Mountain on the night of the murder. The weather report? Snow started to fall at 7, but it stopped at around 10:50. Therefore, when the sister witnessed the crime at 11 p.m., the snow had already stopped falling. It is impossible for any tracks made after that time to have been covered up. I'm confused. Did she witness the crime at 11, meaning that's when she fainted, or that's when she woke up and, like, screamed and Phoenix went out there? Because the bridge was still on fire whenever Phoenix went. Like, I don't even know. There's a lot of weirdness. Order, order. Very well then. It looks like Miss Von Karma's claim has been snowed in. Wow!
It's too soon to be closing this trial due to snow. Miles Edgeworth, how pathetic of you to rely on the weather of all things.
That's literally what you were doing.
Answer me this then. When is a weather report ever correct?
What? No, you've got it all wrong. This isn't a forecast. This is actual data. Yeah.
Forecast data, all weather reports have some
This is such a shitty argument.
It may still have been snowing in the vicinity well past 11 p.m.
It's true. We cannot be totally sure, eh? What? How does she pull that off? That stopped snowing at Hazakura Temple when the murder took place. You need to provide conclusive evidence of this.
The snow
I've come this far, there's no turning back now. Very well. I, too, cannot allow any doubt to remain concerning this testimony.
You can't back down, can you? Such a perfectionist, Miles Edgeworth.
Very well then, Mr. Edgeworth. Where's your evidence that it had already stopped snowing when the victim was killed? Probably the murder photo. What do you mean? Because there's no snow on her body. Ultimately, it all comes down to one point. That being, whether or not it was snowing in that courtyard when the victim was stabbed.
That's right, but proving that is...
incredibly easy. If we want to know whether it was snowing or not, this photo will tell us everything. Of course, I'm referring to the photo of the crime scene. As you can see, everything is covered with snow, with just one exception.
And that is...
the victim herself, Miss Elise Dunin. Why is there no snow on top of her? The answer is simple. It had stopped snowing when she was killed, that's why. In other words, if the killer really did go to the Eagle River to dispose of the murder weapon, then in this photograph, there should be two sets of tracks. Order, just what are you...
Just what are you suggesting, Miles Edgeworth?
To be honest, I'm not entirely sure myself, but this is simply what all of the facts point to. That night, someone used the snowmobile to leave Hazakura Temple. From the tracks left, it can be understood that they were heading for Dusky Bridge. At that time, it was still snowing.
Of course it was, because those tracks were raised by the snow.
Then, when this person returned to Hazakura Temple, the snow had stopped. Thus, the return tracks remained.
Can I say something?
I think you've said enough, dude. You've lied about like 15 million things.
This all sounds a little bit fishy to me. What does, sister? There is only one key for the snowmobile. Furthermore, on the night in question, we know that the defendant had it. The key was found in her room after the murder. Which can only mean that night, Iris used a snowmobile to go to the inner temple.
But Iris says she never went there. Also, there's more than one place that she could have gone with the snowmobile. Also, this doesn't prove anything about what we were talking about. This feels like totally unrelated to the murder case. I should probably press on this point some more when I get the chance.
Wait, how could she go to Inner Temple on a snowmobile? I thought there's only a bridge connecting them.
Take it to the bridge and walk across the bridge.
And leave the snowmobile at the beginning of the bridge?
Yeah.
Okay, I like how they're answering this right away. The snowmobile can't cross the suspension bridge, so she must have left it on the Hazakura side of the bridge and crossed on foot.
That sounds right.
But what's odd is, when I left Iris and returned to Hazakura Temple, I didn't see anything near Dusky Bridge.
Because I went to Heavenly Hall.
You must have just failed to see it, sister. Maybe, but when I made it back to Hazakura Temple, it was there by the main gate. The snowmobile, I mean. I know what I saw. I was covered in snow, too.
But that isn't possible. Order in the court. What does this all mean? So then what was the snowmobile used for? It wasn't taken by the defendant when she went to the inner temple. If it had been, then the witness couldn't possibly have seen it by the gate. Furthermore, it wasn't used by the killer to dispose of the murder weapon. If that was the case, there should be two sets of tracks in this photo. All we know is this. After it stopped snowing, someone used the snowmobile to return to Hazakura Temple. Okay, but is any of this actually related to the case? I never thought a simple snowmobile could cause so much trouble.
Oh, I mean, Iris didn't use it to kill someone, like to aid in
I
killing
think we've
someone.
learned all we can learn from this witness.
Yes, I have nothing more to add. I've told you everything that I know.
But then, that still leaves us with the same problem. If only there was someone, a witness who could testify to have seen the snowmobile. A witness, huh? Was there no one out walking perhaps near Dusky Bridge on that night?
I don't think that's likely. It was cold enough to freeze your ears off. Ears off. Oof. Only an idiot would go out wandering in that. Unless they had something really important to do.
That's a shame. Hold on. Something is coming to me. An idiot may well have gone out wandering out on that subarctic night. We know that he did. Your Honor, actually, there just might be one individual who may be of help to us. Really?
You know of someone who might have seen the snowmobile on the night of the murder?
I don't know for sure if he saw it or not, but there are two things about him that do come to mind. Which are, first, that he saw something incredible on the night of the murder.
And the second being,
This individual that I am thinking of went wandering outside on that cold night. In other words, he is our kind of idiot. Mr. Edgeworth, who is this idiot you were talking about? Who is this idiot you're talking about? This guy must be a product of Jean-Luc Dalodoc's Guide to Obnoxious Front Painting. This is Larry Butts, a disciple of the victim, Elise Dunin. A student? Interesting. Then why was he wandering about outside on the night of the murder? I could tell him all about his designs for Iris, but it may cost us his credibility as a witness before I even call him. He is, after all, an artist. He was, perhaps, searching for something in the snowy scenery that would move him, although I cannot guarantee that this is the reason.
and so this unfortunate and reliable-looking man, what exactly was it that he saw?
I intend to extract that from him right here in this courtroom. Summon this youth as a witness immediately. Youth? How old is he? He's gotta be like 26.
I have no choice, do I?
I believe he is in the gallery for this trial. It will not take long to summon him. Very well. Larry. You may have escaped me yesterday, but today I'm going to get everything out of you. The court will now adjourn for a 20-minute break. Miss Von Karma, please see to preparing the next witness.
Understood, Your Honor.
Good. Well then, court is now in recess. Alright, well, that's going to be the end of this one, so see y'all later.